Hey, my name's John, and I hope you're doing well today. And today I want to talk about different spaces, the idea of separating your environments and how it can be useful for productivity and relaxation. To start, the past recent years regarding the COVID-19 pandemic has been a major shift in the work-life relationship for a lot of us. I think the lockdowns, due to how widespread they were, treated everyone a little differently. For those that had the luxury of being able to work from home, it was a big cultural and workflow shock to our daily lives, me included. I think I speak for everyone when I say it was certainly very convenient to be able to just wake up in the morning and go to work without really having to go through the hassle of commuting and dressing up. And it, for the most part, had offered a better work-life situation for a lot of us, especially for people like me that are living in the suburbs of a major metropolitan city where commuting to the office took longer than an hour for one way. At first, it was great. Work, albeit virtual, was very similar, in no small part due to me working as a software developer. I get up in the morning, go to my desk, work, then enjoy the rest of my day off as usual. But gradually and slowly, I had found out that the line between work and leisure has slowly been blending in together as the days went on. Even as the work from home situation had continued long after the pandemic has normalized, it became harder and harder to naturally distinguish between the two. When I was at my desk, I would be thinking about watching YouTube or playing games, and vice versa. When I was playing games or watching YouTube, suddenly work would just pop up into my mind. And I think a large part of this had been due to, rather than before where I had two separate environments for these two activities, that being the office and my home, now they were taking place in the same environment and gradually bleeding into each other. For some background about how my home office is organized, my workstation at home is a room with a desk and my personal computer. I also have some gym equipment on the same room, just a rack and a bench. And for work, I was issued a work laptop that I would be using on the same desk that I had been gaming for so long. It also didn't help that for both leisure and work, I was using essentially the same space. To me, because I had become so accustomed to sitting in this room that my brain could no longer distinguish between the three, and I could no longer really do one without thinking about the other two. Coincidentally, around this time was when some people were going back to the office and gyms were reopening to the public. So whenever my team required me to go in, I had gone in. I felt like I was more productive there because I had only ever associated work with the office environment. I was able to concentrate a lot more exclusively on work. Similarly for the gym as well, because I had only ever associated with me exercising that I found that my workout sessions were significantly shorter despite having the same routine and weight. I had not only experienced firsthand, but also consciously knew before about the idea of separating your environments to change your brain to a certain mood. I remember in particular there was a great video done by CGP Grey on the idea of separating environments and how they can sort of affect your subconscious mood to do this. But I had known that the work-life balance that had been offered with remote work was something that I had long strived for. So I sought to find a solution for this. My idea is that if I can't physically move these locations, then I could at least find an alternative to separate them apart. I started by marking the ground with tape, and anything within this area would be used exclusively for working out. I also dual booted my computer with two operating systems, one exclusively for working and another for leisure/gaming. I tried out, and so far it's been working out very well. And this goes beyond stuff related to just my day job. I also found out that putting work-related stuff to like creating videos or recording edits, saw the same improvement in concentration. I think for people out there that have faced a similar problem where you feel like you can't concentrate because your brain is no longer able to associate a certain mood with a certain environment, to try to see if moving to a different physical environment where your brain is more likely to associate that activity with what you're trying to achieve helps. For me, this was the office, and if I was still in school studying, it would probably be the library. And if not some physical change, maybe some workflow or psychological change, such as lighting or other mood tools. Whatever the solution is, I hope that you'll do your best in trying to find out what works for you in these new and different times, and that you'll be more productive when you want to work and more relaxed when you want to relax. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.